Welcome back to Rooted in Faith. This is Ethan, and I'm Nikki, and we're going to dive into some scriptures today. So, this one's very cool.
This one's cool. And it's a little bit obscure. Just a little bit. Mostly because it requires reading Hebrew, which I cannot do. So, I've had to use a lot of translation help. But it's very fascinating, and maybe we'll do a follow-up episode to dive into some of the instances of what we're going to talk about. But what we're going to talk about today is Aleph Tav, and I think it's very, very fascinating. Aleph
really cool.
is the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet, and Tav is the last letter of the Hebrew alphabet. So we kind of have a first and a last thing going here.
Yeah.
If you're listening with your New Testament eyes and ears. Here, listening with your eyes.
You have eyes to hear and...
Apparently, we all listen with our eyes over here.
Wow. If you have ears to hear and eyes to...
Ears to hear and eyes to see. All right. So, okay. So we have the first and we have the last. Forgive my terrible handwriting here. Holy mackerel. First and last. Okay. Now, Aleph, and it's interesting, Aleph Tav. The second letter of the Hebrew alphabet is Bet, which I find interesting because our Latin-based English alphabet, we get alpha, beta, Charlie, alpha, beta. Joke. You take the A off of beta and you get alphabet. Well, in Hebrew it's Aleph Bet, which is
just very close.
Very close.
Yeah.
I just get a kick out of that. But anyway, you have Aleph, which is the first, Tav, which is the last. Now, in Paleo Hebrew, and I'm sure some Hebrew scholar here is gonna laugh at me here.
Okay.
So, an Aleph in Paleo Hebrew is a bull. Now, they read right to left with Hebrew, not left to right. So, it was kind of in the shape of a bull with horns, and it kind of looked like that. Not much of a our artistic rendering, but that's essentially the Paleo Hebrew symbol for Aleph. Now, Tav was a little bit different. It was kind of like an X, kind of slanted a little bit maybe. Now, of course, all of our Paleo Hebrew writers, they could have had just as good a handwriting as me. So you can imagine that X being just about any variation thereof as they wrote it down. But there you go. Now, what does that mean? Now, these letters have their own meanings. As you can imagine, if Aleph is a head of a bull, now that's gonna mean something like strength. Now, and I don't have to say something like strength. The people smarter than me, that's what they say it means. It's strength. Now, the X, what do you think the X means? Feel free to Google it. Use your AI, look it up.
Really interesting.
X means...
And not Twitter.
X means covenant. Now it's interesting. Now, why is this important? It's because in the very first verse of the Bible, Genesis 1:1, the Aleph Tav appears twice. I believe it's twice.
This is so cool. Yeah.
Now, and we'll put it up on the screen for you.
Yeah.
And hopefully I don't butcher it here. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now, in the English translation of it, we're missing the Aleph Tav, because it's in the beginning, God created, and then there's an Aleph Tav, the heavens, and Aleph Tav, the earth. But two letters together, an A and and a Z essentially next to each other wouldn't really mean anything. And the translators don't leave it in there.
They
They
take it
take it out,
out, which is really interesting.
which you take it out and you have a perfectly good sentence. Like,
Yeah.
what does it actually mean? Well, there's a couple things that different scholars have proposed. They could say, well, if it's saying in the beginning God created Aleph Tav, the heavens, and Aleph Tav, the earth, it could mean, well, this is the first and the last letters. It means completion. He completely created the heavens and completely created the earth. That tracks a little bit.
Yeah.
The other thought is, well, he created the alphabet itself. He created the spoken word in which he manifested the heavens and the earth into the universe. And you have to have a structure first.
So the word was with God.
And that's a good point. And in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Well, by this, that kind of idea is God created the Word, or the structure to say the words, to manifest everything into existence. Now, which is fascinating. I
or
can
to organize things into existence.
And I can see how that comes. Someone gets that thought.
Yeah.
But the best one, I think, and this is the one I like best, is in the beginning, God created, through the strength of the covenant, the heavens, and the strength of the covenant, the earth. And it's kind of a literal translation, but I think it means, it has a lot more meaning that way. And I think it ties in a lot better with some of the latter uses of the Aleph Tav. Also, for those listening with their covenant eyeballs, if we're doing things that through sacred ordinance and by covenant, that means that we also are doing it through authority, and I think it carries a lot more meaning. Now, why is this important? Now, real quick, in latter Hebrew, not the Paleo Hebrew, things kind of get switched around here. The Aleph actually evolves to become an X, and then the Tav becomes this kind of boxy character, and that's how we would see it. That's the Aleph and the Tav, which was very, very, very fascinating. That the X kind of remains, but they kind of switch places there. So, now some of the later uses of this, we're going to see the Aleph Tav in a few places. Now, it appears before, if you're familiar with the story of Jacob and Esau, Jacob essentially buys Esau's birthright. There's a whole bunch of sibling contention there. Well, the Aleph Tav appears in front of Jacob and Esau's name until Esau sells his birthright. Then can you guess whose name the Aleph Tav appears in front of after that? It'd be Jacob.
That's really fascinating.
It's very
fascinating how it changes.
Because
so it's got to have some significance then.
Well, and that's why I think it makes sense with the covenant, because with the uses, and we'll put some of these up on the screen. You're welcome to go find some of them yourself. The uses of the Aleph Tav seem to show up in times when it's delineating maybe important characters, as if it's tracking the covenant through time, or authority, or something. Now, if you're a fan of Margaret Barker, and I think this tracks, there's a lot of reading and listening you got to do.
We'll have to link some of her lectures with this episode.
I think that'd be great, because
it's so fascinating. She has done, this is part of our research did come for like diving into this. We kind of got on track with some of her lectures that we've listened to.
Well, and what would it be, like the first covenant? What would it have been called, Nikki?
Shoot, I've lost it.
The everlasting covenant.
Yes.
So
Everlasting.
the everlasting covenant, which if you're a Latter-day Saint, you know the name New and Everlasting Covenant. This is incredibly old. This is going back to the very first verse of the Bible.
Yes.
It's going back to the very first people, and there seems to be an everlasting covenant that
and possibly
was possibly tracked through the Aleph Tav in the scriptures.
Yeah, it's super interesting.
Now that's about all we've got. Now,
Yeah.
I was playing around with some gematria, which for those that know, that's the Hebrew math, essentially, or it's the all the letters of the Hebrew alphabet correspond to numbers, and so when you take words and phrases, you add up the numerical values, and you get these numbers. Well, you can take those numbers and cross-reference those numbers with words that are of the same number, and then you can see correlations, and it's fun. But with Aleph Tav, this is one I thought I'd share with you guys. Aleph, first letter of the alphabet. You can imagine what number that one is. That's 1. So the Aleph, the Tav is 400. Which, if you add those together, if you add Aleph and Tav together, you would get 401. Which, if there's any computer nerds out there,
error.
What does error 401 mean?
Yeah.
Now, I had to look this up. I've had that error many times, but it means the command is recognized, but the authority is not.
That's really interesting.
The command is recognized, but it lacks authority. Completely fascinating. I'm sure it's got nothing to do with the Bible or ancient Hebrew, but that's what an error 401 means. That's what a strength of the covenant error means, is we recognize your command, but not the authority. That's all we've got for you today. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and share this with your friends. Leave us some comments so we know what you guys think, and
we're going to have to do some deep dives into stuff, since these are some shorter episodes.
Oh, for sure. But we'll do some follow-ups and link more info. And
definitely.
Till next time.
Thanks, everyone. See ya.